such an asshole.
Tired, Cappy. We'll try this again. What the South Dakota internet gods giveth, they taketh away. So hopefully they won't taketh away, and I can get yet another video done. Before I was so rudely interrupted by South Dakota internet, I was pointing out how all the hubris and arrogance set aside, it's not. I'm not really this arrogant or cocky in the real world. I'm only 98% this arrogant and cocky. But every once in a while, there is, well, not every once in a while, there is a seed of truth to everyone's claims. And I'm an amazing economist. Dead accurate assessment. I'm an amazing economist. And I've said before, it's not because I'm better or smarter or more intelligent or anything like that. I just have a simple policy. What's the data say? And fuck my feelings and fuck my biases. And other economists, too, could be great economists, but they choose not to. What does Keynes say? A buddy of mine, I was going to tell the story before. He's not an economist when he was discussing economic matters on a polite social forum, discussion forum on the internet. And I always want to use this line. I've never had the opportunity. He says, well, I can't hear you with John Maynard Keynes' dick in your mouth. So if you could take that off, maybe I could get Keynes' dick out of your mouth. Maybe I could see what the hell you're talking about. So let me read first with my recently published book, what the hell is it? A World Without Men, an economic analysis of an all-female economy, because they're strong and independent, don't need no. There's certainly the argument, if faced with starvation, homelessness, and no electricity, women would migrate towards these industries, which is valid and will be addressed in a later chapter. But for now, it would be worthwhile to see what would happen to some key standard of living metrics if women of today were to wake up and suddenly face the disappearance of men tomorrow. The first thing women would notice is they would wake up in a room that is 8 by 10 feet. 8 by 10 feet, 80 square feet for those of you with a public school education. They at first might think they're in a closet or a joke is being played on them, but once they stepped outside, they would realize that would be their entire house, their entire dwelling. The reason is without men, about 97% of the home building capacity would be eliminated from an all-female economy. And the remaining 3% of women who are capable of building, wiring, and plumbing a house, that would be not you feminists and not you college-educated types, wouldn't be able to build the luxurious 2,273 square foot homes the average American enjoys today. They would only be able to build 3% of that, i.e. a 77 square foot closet dwelling for women to live like beehives or apartments in New York City. Now I'm going to add this one because I did read the article a little bit. The line to the communal toilet would be longer than a Soviet bread line in the worst of their famines. That's because, as previously discussed, only 1/6 of the sewage capacity would be built since there are so few female plumbers and civil engineers. Obviously, most people wouldn't be able to hold it for that long, so a California-style sewer system would have to be implemented where you just shit in the streets. So there's my little funny dig at you, California. California. Remember when you Californians thought you were cool, and now you're street shitters? Man, wow. Tell me about the weather some more, bro. This was brought to my attention by Wall Street. Something he was on Twitter. I forget. I've been desperately trying to get him to follow me back. This is from ABC 15 News, Chicago. Kabam! Chicago may give migrants micro homes with no running water, report says. So Chicago had a female mayor until recently. Now they have a new female mayor. They do. They have a female mayor. And as you know, the Democrat Party, it's all about free stuff because that's the solution to everything, free stuff. And their sanctuary city, they've been taking in all the illegal aliens that have been coming in. And now it's causing a crisis. And now, of course, they have a male mayor now. But I bring up the female mayors because this guy just took over. So it's not necessarily his fault. This has been an ongoing problem with the previous mayor. He is going to implement what I intellectually dishonestly call female socialist solutions, because socialist solutions are socialist solutions. I'm just painting it because we're brave and strong and amazing. She was a leader, right, gang? Golem or whatever the hell. Lori Lightfoot, that was her name. Here you go. Here's the solution. Just come on in. We'll just sing a song. There'll be more government money. Tell me if you hear these numbers. Chicago may give migrants micro homes with no running water, report says. No running water? Like what I predicted? Wait, is this not? Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay. Okay, Chicago 15 News, kabam. Chicago. A Chicago company in an effort to give migrants off the street as winter approaches. You all decided to. I bet you they're going to wish they were back wherever nice, warm southern climes they came from. Hey, it can't possibly be we spit out more kids than we can possibly afford in our second, third world crap hole. But if we cross this imaginary line, especially when winter approaches, it's not hard work. It's not discipline or technological innovation. It's not working harder and smarter or not having kids they can't afford. No, the Americans, they just found the one piece of magic dirt on the entire globe. And we want some of that magic dirt too. Who are those little children? Well, that's my son from my first guy. And that's my second child, my daughter from the second guy. And those two are from the third guy. No, they'll be fine. We're going to crash in the magic dirt land in the middle of winter. I heard Chicago's a great place to be in January. Offers a unique solution to the city's growing housing crisis. Inherent Home CEO Tim Swanson told Axios his company developed a prototype micro home. I'm all for that. I actually stayed in a micro home. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. That aims to offer more sustainability to those currently camping on street sidewalks or city sidewalks and under bridges. The properties, which measure 80 square feet. I said 77 by the math. I did the math. And oh my gosh, by golly, here comes well-endowed Molly. Here's some free market facts. Here's some free market estimates. Here's some free market numbers that comes down to 80 square feet. No joke, you're going to live in the pods and eat your bugs and like it. I love it when reality inevitably bears. Now they haven't built the homes just yet. But man, is that accurate. Man, is that close. Damn, am I good. I feel like Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday in what was the movie? Tombstone. Just supremely confident. I'm going to twirl my cup around. I have two guns. One for the both of you. Look, it's a criticism on socialism, but you can look, if you were to remove the men, because you girls don't need men, you have your little socialist utopia, which is what you have in Chicago. I think chapter 4 is the future is now. Ow, I just cut myself. Gee whiz. You ever cut off a scab accidentally because it itches and then you bleed all over again? You got to start the healing process all over again? Oh, well. Look, ladies, and I'm talking to the socialist, feminist, Democrat type of ladies, the ones where everything is free and, just housing shits itself out of the sky like manna from heaven. You got more than Chicago. You got more than one little microcosm example of American socialism. Chicago is one of them. Then you got San Francisco, you got Minneapolis, you got any major Seattle, Port. You got, I don't know, you keep going down this road and you keep making people poorer. And I'm thinking like, do you think there's like this critical mass of socialism and other people's money that's going to result and bam, you're the Chicago finance department, right? And I don't know what their budget is, but I guess Chicago is a big town, 8 million people. It's got to be, I guess, $20 billion. I don't know. It's multiple billions of dollars. So you spend 18 billion one year. We need more. 19 billion. We need more. 20 billion the next. We need more. You've been doing this for decades, by the way. Is it going to be $20 billion and 1 cent, and that penny, you put it into the coffers, and it's like the final switch that goes into the monster mother brain machine that finally fires it up, and now your socialism works? Here's why socialism doesn't work, because you're all a bunch of lazy, worthless fucks who don't work. That's it. It doesn't work because you don't work. And you just, here, I'd like to ask, where's the Chicago guy, Tim Swanson? He's of Inherent Homes. All right. How big is that company? Does he have enough tradesmen to build the homes. He just has an idea. Maybe he could build some homes. Oh, who's going to pay for it? Can he even find enough quality tradesmen in Chicago to do it? Or is everyone majoring in the touchy-feely twiller hoo-ha? Let's go major in sociology. I mean, you can find some sociology majors to bitch and whine about, oh my God, the migrants are homeless. Yeah, well, that doesn't solve the problem now, does it? It's like Bruce Willis in Die Hard talking to the lieutenant. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the fucking problem. Put the other guy back online. All you do is bitch. Both the men and the women socialists. We're moving on now beyond the variety or flavor of socialism. All you do is bitch and whine. All your solutions are, it's always, other, we just need more money. We just need more. And you're going to start to find out that it doesn't matter how much money you get. If there are people laying around to actually, whatever, build the road, make the televisions, in this case, build the properties. I mean, how big? Let me see inherent homes. I mean, inherent homes. All right. He looks like he's over in Cicero. I used to live down. Designed for, oh yeah, he's a small home. Okay, look, this guy's actually quite creative. Small homes. He specializes in small homes. Our micro inheritance. Okay, so our team. I'm not slamming on this guy at all. I think you're in a crowded metropolitan area, and now they have, advisors, partners. Let's look at partners, who the investors are. It's not a publicly traded firm. Dude, can you just have the information on your website? Can you just, our team, get involved, built by your neighbors for your neighbors? Oh, is this a nonprofit? I'm okay with people building there. And let me guess, you're going to get more money. Our homes. Healthy family support, options. Yeah, he's got standard. This looks good. Events, our micro, our team, leadership, advisors. These are advisors. What I'm saying, hang on. Our team, leadership. Let's look at the leadership. Founder, urban designer, vice president, sales. They got a lot of power girls. They're all akimbo. They got their arms crossed. That way, they're really smart and intelligent. Director, construction operations. Okay, the point I'm bringing about this looks like a small operation. He's part of the solution, but he is going to solve the problem by himself. And I bet you nuts and bolts he can't find people to work for him. Because you told everyone to go follow your heart. Female socialism. Go follow your heart. The money will follow. What would be the female counterpart? It'd be simp socialism. Yes, dear. Okay, dear. Socialism and communism is great, dear. Son, follow your heart and money will follow. And be really sweet and nice. And you listen to your mother. Okay, sweetheart. Suck pee now. I told everybody like you said you want them told. Can I get some peace leave action? Oh, thank you, sweetheart. What do you mean Junior has to move back home at 32? He followed his heart as he became a music therapy major. Oh, okay, dear. He needs more money. I guess I'll cash out the 401k. I don't know why people are starving and there's no housing. I have my MBA. We just need more money. Bitch, how about you grab a fucking hammer? Now, in defense of this guy, it sounds like it's like, hey, you build it yourself. We help out. And I know a gal, and this is a project. This is a program in the 70s under Jimmy Carter, where the gal and her husband, they actually, she became a good plumber. This is back in the days when women would actually work instead of bitch and whine and get master's degrees. There's got to be some tradeswomen, like no joke tradeswomen. They're like, God damn, man. And God bless you, lady. There's 3%. I got the numbers in the book link below. There's 3% carpenters and tradesmen. And there's even one, I think she's in Minneapolis of all places. Cute blonde. She has her show, of course. But it's not these housing shows, or this show is not the housing show where it's Bipsy. Oh my goodness. So like I'm going to pick out there, and I'm pretty. And then the guys are all doing all the fucking work. This gal goes in there and knocks out her own shit. So I was like, okay, she's got a work belt on. You know, she's a better carpenter than I'll ever be. So I'll give a salute to that lady there. But for the remaining 97% of you, oh, I gotta go, babe. I gotta major in early childhood education. Why is housing so expensive? We need help. We need more immigrants in. Oh my God, come in, everybody. Oh, fuck you. I didn't mean to like actually figure out logistics beyond that. I just wanted a virtue signal. I'm a socialist feminist. I put us in charge of housing. Could you imagine Ocasio-Cortez in charge of housing? And now I think it's more coincidence than any kind of like, wow, you kind of nailed it there. But it's interesting how the two rhyme, and I'll have some statistics that I'll come up with academically using data that we got. Like, well, here's the home building capacity. And in a socialist economy like Chicago, I doubt you have a lot of tradesmen, not enough to serve that population. And it's dwindling. I'm sure that I could be wrong. Maybe Chicago is home of a ton of tradesmen. And they don't know, it's fine. We could build affordable housing all day. But I look at a socialist microeconomy or municipal economy like Chicago, and you guys are starting to get to the point where you got to put them in 80 square foot closets. Right? And then I got the numbers in the data where, again, not all women are socialist, of course not. But if we look at what we're going to put forth our effort, and you girls don't need no man, and, oh, it'd just be it'd be a utopia. You go colonize Mars or something. No. What it looks like is what you're asking for in Chicago. That's what's going to happen. And I'd never really paid much attention. You'll get in the pod and eat the bugs, own nothing, and be happy. I don't know. In revs, people I got more important shit to do. I'm going to go and hike and enjoy life and play video games. That's what I'm going to do. But if we got this idea that everything is free and we don't have to work or respond to what society and the economy really demands through higher wages and all that, we keep telling our little children this, not 100%, but biased towards the female mindset. Well, just do what you want. Your money will follow. We can all be independent journalists and work for the Huffington Post and not get paid. I need a student loan bill. Or your Democrat male equivalent's an acoustic guitar major over there, like with his beer cans or whatever. Like, dude, I've made a pyramid. If you get this, that's what's going to happen. And by gosh, by golly, I'm wondering if there's a little bit more authenticity to those numbers where I was like, well, based on this, it'd be an 80 square foot closet. And now the guy comes out like, yeah, it'd be an 80 square foot closet without plumbing. I'm like, there was also no plumbing in my scenario too. But hands off to the guy for building the micro homes. I think it's a clever idea, and I wish him luck, but I wouldn't. Buddy, go make some money. You got to look out for your number. Go build some houses. If the government's going to pay you, sure, go ahead. More. Oh, build the. I don't know about the sewage system. Don't worry. All those colleges like Loyola, University of Chicago, DePaul, University of Illinois, all of them, I'm sure, are graduating a ton of civil engineers and plumbers, right? They're not graduating more socialist to bitch and whine. And I want free money, right? There's some hardworking, industrious young kids coming out of those schools. This is going to save the house. We're going to, housing should be, should be in abundance, right? Because everyone's going to work hard and swing hammers, right? You don't have a bunch of therapists down in Chicago, like, There you go. All right, let's go to the super chats. We got 2. G, Ski, 5. Do you take payments by any other means than PayPal? I deleted my account when PayPal shafted Terrence Pop. You can use your credit card to pay PayPal. Just use your credit card. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Put the women in charge of Waizaze, Maple Grove, and the Plymouth housing. Those areas and their, quote, good schools need to be enriched by poverty and diversity. I'm all for it. I'm tired. I have argued long enough against socialism for my generation. And all I got was called names, which doesn't make any sense. I'm a fascist, I'm a Nazi, I'm a racist, I'm a bigot, I hate women. I'm like, why? Because I'm trying to prevent us all from starving to death. I've tried. And America, but especially the good people of suburbanite Minnesota, they have spoken. They have spoken. They're going to give their shot at socialism. And by all means, go ahead. I'm done arguing. I'm going to enjoy the decline, another book of mine that you might want to purchase. No, I didn't steal that guy's quote. I am the guy that came up with the quote. That's me when you see it out there. Life is too short. If these people want to run off the cliff, go let them run off the cliff. Just don't join them. Stand aside, light up a cigar, watch. Yep, they'll call you a whatever, Nazi fascist poopy head. Fine, keep going, keep going. How's your 80 square foot closets without a shitter? Yeah, I'm sure that's great. And just watch what I gotta imagine though, down the road, because it's not simply being nice. The vast majority of people, in the olden times, a Democrat, you were for the little people, and now they're trust funders. But that aside, in the olden days, you were for the little people, and you wanted to help them out in kind of a charitable endeavor. But it wasn't your life. It wasn't like your core value. The younger generations, including mine, a lot of it is their religion, their socialism, whatever. If it's environmentalism, feminism, just rank class warfare, racial issue, whatever. It's all give other people your money so I can feel good about myself, or give me your money because you oppressed me, or reasons. Are you going to get off your ass and work? No, you hate women. You hate children. You hate the whales. Like, oh my God, I'm so done with this shit. But the point I'm saying, with this being so core to people's value, like they list that shit. Like that's like the number one thing. You know, are you a Muslim? No. Are you a Christian? No. Are you a plumber? No. Are you an accountant? No. I'm a feminist. I'm a socialist. I'm an environmentalist. And I got to wonder, like, for example, Robert E. Reich, former labor secretary, and his twin brother, equally short and stupid. Well, they're actually incredibly intelligent. They just lie to your guys' faces. You think they're being sincere. Paul Krugman, two economists that are failed. They have got their entire lives was to bring about a socialist economy. Their entire lives have been a waste. It's just been a waste. They're on their deathbed. They're men well into their 70s. And well, I don't know, maybe they lived 100 years. But the day is not going to come that the socialist utopia will ever be achieved. And if anything, they look at places like Chicago or Minneapolis or San Francisco or Portland or Seattle, and they're like, I mean, we haven't done enough yet. What percentage of GDP would you like to spend? 100? It still won't work. But there's so many people that are emotionally and psychologically and philosophically invested in this, that also, what's going to happen to all these hipster baby boomer Democrat socialist types? Yeah, you failed. Oh, look, your utopia, your Messiah didn't come down. Karl Marx didn't have we didn't have the second coming of Karl Marx, and he smote the capitalists. Nope, Democrats generally are still poor. Matter of fact, they're worse off. And all you've managed to do is piss people off and waste your entire life. I don't know. Some people like to have kids, have a family, or something. Or what did a feminist do? All she did was bitch and whine about how things were unfair. Her entire life, like 80 years. Like 65 adult years. Yep. Like, no kidding. She even got a doctorate. She went to school for 8 years for that, to just bitch and whine about men for 65 adult years. That's the legacy, huh? Like Kathy Griffiths. What's that going to be like? If you remember her. Oh, so let them. I don't care. It's not my children. Drew, $5. I lost it on someone that tried to argue with me about rent control. And I said that no one is owed free, cheaper housing because it's not your home. Well, exactly. Who's going to build the housing if there's not going to be any price? Like, this guy ain't going to build the price. He ain't getting out of bed in the morning unless he's paid, because he needs to feed. He needs to eat. I don't know. He's got a family. Drew, $5. Is rent control a reaction to the government not building housing for people? Okay, the government does not build housing for people. Tradesmen do. Carpenters do. Why is it our responsibility to provide housing for being responsible? We live in a democracy. It's not our, okay, Drew, it is not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to sacrifice part of my life, effectively enslaving myself on a percentage basis to pay for the housing of a lazy, stupid person. It's not my responsibility. It's not their responsibility. You are not entitled to other people's lives in any way, capacity, or regard. However, we live in a democracy, and wouldn't it be nice if we tax that guy because he's got more money than me? And I'm not there's many, what was it? Was it Alec de Tocqueville? Somebody said, maybe it was Ben Franklin. I don't know. Somebody way long ago said once the population figures out that they can vote to raid the treasury for their own benefit, it's over. And that's what we got. Like, for example, I don't know if you pay attention, but Socialist Democrats, which is a sub-party within the Democrat Party, they say, but it's democracy. We voted on. I'm like, it still doesn't mean it ain't theft. Like, if we all vote to have Bob kick you in the nuts, and Bob kicks you in the nuts, you say, what the fuck you do that for? We say, it's all right, we voted on it. It doesn't mean that's not assault or kicking you in the nuts. It's still theft. It's still parasitism. So rent control is not, it's not a reaction to the government not building housing for people. That's, the government doesn't build housing. Rent control could be a reaction to not enough housing being built in a particular economy, because for whatever reason, it could be regulation, like maybe government in San Francisco is one example, Portland especially. But rent control is a reaction to housing prices, whether it's rent or ownership, getting, quote, too high. There's no such thing as too high. There's no such thing as too low. It is what it is. And how things would normally work is rents would get so high, or the price of housing would get so high, builders would say, hey, do you know I could build a brand new home or an apartment building in New York City and sell it for this amount? And so if rents and prices are high, you would attract investment. And then that should be the natural response, that the market would then be flooded with builders. And then you'd increase supply to the point that it's not that profitable anymore, because we've reached demand. We have supplied the demand. And that's how you get housing costs to go down permanently, or to maintain themselves, adjusted to plateau. What rent control does is it limits the amount that you could charge for rent. And so that limits the profit to be made by any new construction or development. And so when you are a builder or a contractor or whatever, and you say, well, I could build five apartment units and get the financing and my supply and my team, we get the lumber and all that. I could build 5 apartment units. Wait, how much am I allowed to charge for rent? Well, I got to pay the bankers, the people that lend me the money. I got to pay for, I like to make some profit too. I got to pay my employees. There's insurance and all that other stuff. Maybe I'm only going to build 1. Or New York has rent control. I could go across the river to Jersey and build the same. It cost me the same, but there ain't no rent control. So either I'm going to rent them out myself and manage the property and take all the profits, or I'm selling the property to a property management firm that would pay me more, because that exact same apartment building in New Jersey is more profitable and therefore more valuable than the exact same one in New York City. It's all a rent control does is, in the short, I wish the Democrats, I know you're, for all you Democrats out there, I know you're a Democrat because you're too lazy. That's what it is. But by God, you don't realize, for your own benefit, you're also too lazy, and you're thinking, you got to think more than one step ahead. It's low rent. Yeah, if you can get it. And all you've done with rent control is you've prevented, by this time, I don't know, I'd have to go and do some numbers, but how many, probably at least since the 70s, whenever the rent control, I guarantee you at least 1 million units in New York. You put an end, or seriously hampered the development of new housing, which would not only increase the supply of housing, but it's there until you take the building down. It's there forever. It's permanent housing. You increase the actual amount of housing permanently until the point in time you tear it down and put something else in there. And then people don't get that because I want my money now. The evil rich fat cats. I'm a stupid moron to listen to Paul Krugman. And so then people just go build elsewhere. The builders build elsewhere. And then there's an even worse shortage. Watch St. Paul, Minnesota. Don't worry, they got speaking very directly to this. They have an all-female city council. And oh my God, the media was just creaming their shorts over this. They're all socialists. You're going to see feminine socialism. You're going to see female socialism or whatever. You're going to see it happen in St. Paul. And before all this, they did pass rent control in St. Paul. And I think they also applied it to new construction. So now, really, the internet, really? We'll just have to wait, see if we had free markets and we could move in to take advantage of the internet profit. Like, I would gladly pay $20 a month more to have reliable internet. Hang on. God almighty. Should go to Singapore. What is it? Really? Is it this long? Hang on. Let me pull it up. Let me run my diagnostic. Let's have the internet, this software take forever. Let's see what's going on. Come on. Oh, yeah, it is shit. It is horrible. I'm going to kill them all, Winston. I'm going to kill them all. I'm going to kill them all, sir. All right. I'll make this quick then. And we'll get rid of it. Don't have to do the super chats. So that's rent control. It is a political reaction to a very serious, if not the most serious economic problem, because housing is usually your largest expense. So if you really wanted to help people's standards of living, you knock it off with rent control. You say everyone's got to pay. You wouldn't put up ridiculous amounts of government regulations about home building. Make sure it's safe, but and then let people build homes. Let them build housing. And you would have a longer term, more permanent solution to the housing shortage and do more to critically increase people's standards of living long term because housing would be cheaper. But ethically, no, it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to not hurt other people. And that's a responsibility to you. That's the only responsibility you got. And then if they try to guilt or shame you, it's like, no, you go pay for it then. I do not owe, as long as I don't take from everybody, I don't owe anybody anything. And you'll find all the people like, you should really ought to pay more of your money to those people. You find out they're not paying anyway. Told the story before about my former Democrat friend who became a realtor or something like that. Didn't make estimated tax payments. You're just an evil fascist. It was funny. Yeah, I love it when my friends called me a fascist. Like, yeah, someone who killed people. Yeah, that's really funny because I believe in a balanced budget and low tax. Yep, I'm practically Mussolini and Hitler combined. Assholes. And then he didn't make his quarterly payments for taxes. Then his tax accountant did his taxes. Yeah, you owe I don't know, 20 grand. Oh my God, what the hell? It's that. Fuck you, you hypocrites. That's why I hate Democrats. The vast majority of them are all just lazy, sexist shit who don't want to pay. But they want to be popular. And I'm not saying Republicans are great either, but by at least politicians, not so much. At least they're we're generally against parasitism. Razor Power, $5. Watch as the numbers of true tradesmen dwindle. Yep. I have a chart. I got a chart in the latest book, A World Without Men. Guys, go get it. Ladies, you could too if you cared. It's a feminist utopia about a world without men and what would happen and how you'd all just be super happy and you'd all have your prince and it would be like the Barbie movie. It would, ladies, go get it. You can masturbate to it. It'd be one. It's just perfect. But I got one of the best charts is just shows you a nice steady decline in tradesmen as a percentage of the population. When you needed 3 days for the plumber to show up because they openly looked down on them, I think tradesmen they're going to be very precise with their women they're choosing going forward. But generally speaking, why would you be a trade? Like, here's a tradesman in Chicago is like, wait, we're going to house these people. We're going to, like, let's say you're a roofer. You want me to house my future competition? Get the fuck out of here. Jane Cobb, $5 in Minnesota goes if Jane, they are. You're going to have a lot of new neighbors, Cappy, if you have to move to an Asian country where you learn an Asian language. Yes, I'm not going to be like most of the immigrants that come here and not learn the language. I will not be that disrespectful. And on top of it, how the hell am I going to survive and operate overseas not learning the language? I just think that's the most incredibly rude and disrespectful thing. Yeah, okay, come to this country. Yep, magic dirt. Don't learn the language. No, that has no effect on your ability to succeed in this country. No, it's just those people are bigoted. Don't learn the language. Well, that would take effort. If you can't learn the language, that tells you everything about your work ethic. So you're not going to learn the language? Well, don't expect it. By the way, someone translating all the world's languages. Our dirt isn't magic. It's hard work and not making stupid choices. Although our domestic population is quickly changing that about America. Yeah, of course I'd learn their language. Of course. I would have such shame if I can. Por favor, donde el baño? No, I'm going to learn the language. But don't for a second think I'm not like that. Ain't a great deterrent to like Japan or China. Like, how many characters you got in your language? It's going to take a long time. Italian, yeah, I could learn that. I don't want to live in Italy. I should find out what they speak in Croatia. Probably Croatian. All right, that's it. So link below. A World Without Men, a feminist utopia dream come true. And that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.